From illegal immigration to drug violence, the problems along our southern border getting a lot of attention lately. And one part of the story that's causing some significant alarm now, the growing number of OTMs. Now that means illegals other than Mexicans who are coming across the border into the United States. In fact, the feds have just warned Texas to be on the lookout for one man in particular. He is suspected of being a member of the Somali-based Al-Shabaab terror group. This is a group that's aligned with Al-Qaeda. Joining us now is Texas Congressman McCaul, who's the ranking Republican on the House Homeland Security Committee's Intelligence Subcommittee. Congressman, good to see you. I know you've been given some classified briefings on this, and I would never ask you to compromise our national security. But what can you tell us about this new warning and about Al-Shabaab?
Well, I can't tell you there's a Department of Homeland Security alert sent out a bulletin on this individual allegedly tied to Al-Shabaab, which, as you mentioned, is a Somali-based Al-Qaeda group. But what I think it does is it demonstrates a bigger, larger problem here in terms of who is coming into this country. Last year, we apprehended 45,000 other than Mexicans or special interest aliens. This year alone, up to May, we've had 25,000 of these individuals coming from countries like Somalia, like Pakistan, like Afghanistan. And just recently we had an indictment in federal court, an Al-Shabaab-based operative who says that he smuggled in 300 Somalis into the United States. And the problem is we have no idea where they are.
Well, this is very alarming, Congressman. So you get this warning from the Department of Homeland Security. What kind of beefed up security presence do you get as a result of this? Are they doing anything other than just issuing the warning?
Well, they're on the alert to try to locate this individual and stop him from coming into the country. But again, and not getting into the classified world, the problem with this is just one case that demonstrates many other cases out there. And the fact is we don't know how many other cases are out there. We know that for every other than Mexican special interest alien that we apprehend at the border, Border Patrol will tell you that 3 more are getting into the country. And you don't know what you don't know, but we do know the fact that many of these people are getting into the United States. We don't know where they are. And in my view, they present a grave threat and a danger to our national security.
The president's talking about sending about 1,200 National Guardsmen to patrol the border. John McCain, the senator from Arizona, is asking for additional National Guards troops to help him along his state's border with Mexico. What do you think about what's being proposed, what's being talked about? Is it aggressive enough for you?
I think it's a good first start. My governor, state of Texas, requested 1,000 National Guard just for the Texas-Mexico border. I think it's a good first start, but I think we need to do a lot more if we're going to get serious about securing this border. Juarez, across from El Paso, one of the most violent cities in the world now, and they're directly attacking U.S. officials in Juarez and Nuevo Laredo. That is spilling into the United States. The fence has been completed, but the virtual fence, the technology piece, won't be complete until 2016. I think we need to ramp these efforts up. I'm going to have a request for UAVs, more UAVs down on the border so we can have better surveillance technology to see where they're coming in. But it's a good first step, but I'm afraid that he's using this as a political tool to drive his amnesty agenda, which we know he'll be pushing after this. You're
talking about the president there, I imagine.
Precisely.
Let me ask you one other point. Maybe you know about this through the committee that you sit on. We're in the midst, of course, as you know, of an immigration debate in this country. There is another aspect, another report that's out there that says that some Islamists, some terrorists are trying to cross over the border by disguising themselves as Latinos, going so far as to try to learn Spanish and to try to disguise the way that they look in order to get over the border into this country and integrate themselves into our society and I guess join sleeper cells or whatever. What do you know about this report, and what do you think it does now as we debate, as I said, immigration policy?
Well, I issued a report several years ago called A Line in the Sand, and we talk about that very issue. FBI Director Mueller testified before the committee and said that there are Middle Easterners that go to Mexico, change their surnames, and are trying to get into the United States. That's not me speaking as a politician. That's our FBI director saying that. I take that very seriously. I do think that's happening, and that's why the securing the border is so important. because it's not just people coming here to work. The terrorist threat after 9/11 is very serious and very real, and we had to get serious about securing it.
Michael McCaul, Republican congressman